All right, let's push it on very quickly to another very much pressing issue, which is on the subsidy removal. Of course, some groups have come out in the course of last week into the weekend to actually protest the proposed, nothing is final yet, so it's a proposed increase in fuel price come February 2022, but some groups are already preempting that particular occurrence, and they are protesting and telling the government not to go ahead with that plan. So the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, has told the federal government that removing fuel subsidy will worsen the suffering of the majority of Nigerians who are already impoverished. Subsidy removal will worsen Nigerians' suffering. The president of the association, Wale Oke, urged the government to shelve the proposed policy in order not to worsen the hardship and trigger crisis in the country. He explained that the implementation of the policy would lead to a hike in the price of fuel, and this will have a ripple effect on prices of goods and services. Last week here on the program, I did mention that according to the NNPC, they are hinting that come February 2022, the price of fuel might actually go up to between 320 naira to 340 naira. But like I said, this is still a proposal. Nothing is certain yet. And besides, February 2022 hasn't come yet. So, but then Nigerians are already worried over these issues. There are statements back and forth, even protests, like I said, on this particular issue. But what is your take
There's
on
no
this
smoke
issue
without
of
fire.
subsidy removal?
Before, the moment you see smoke, in the next couple of seconds, fire will come up. That's the height of insensitivity by the government. That shows that the government doesn't have the interest of the common man at heart. I read the story you just read about it, about the PFN, the president, Waloke. Unfortunately, I agree no less with him, because remember when this present government came on board, 2014, 2015, they talked about subsidy. They say there's nothing like subsidy. Anybody talking about subsidy says scam. And the statistics have shown that even the amount they paid as subsidy within these 6 years have now outweighed the ones paid by the previous administration, and they're still doing it. Is it this time Nigerians are bleeding from eyes, nose, mouth, all over the body? They want to introduce subsidy. They want to remove it. That a liter of fuel will now go for 340. I read it. You see, there'll be high inflation. Inflation will climb beyond the sky. If you understand what I'm saying, it will climb not even beyond the Iroko tree, but beyond the sky. Then there'll be high cost of living. There'll be high cost of food inflation. Transportation from here to the east, from here to the north, you pay through their nose. It's height of insensitivity. What are the government that does not take the welfare of her citizens into consideration is not a good government.
So can we talk about the government's stand on this? The fact that they are paying, let me answer, the fact that they are paying billions of naira, to subsidize the price of fuel, and they cannot afford that anymore.
The subsidy we are talking about, the subsidy they are now saying they are paying, is it the same subsidy they said that there was something like subsidy? You see, when truth is murdered, when truth is buried, there's nothing. You see, truth and honesty is key in any relationship. When a husband discovers the wife is not sincere, there's a problem. When a wife discovers when a man discovers that my wife is not sincere, there's a problem. The same thing is, vice versa. So the point is this: right from time, the government has not been telling us when they came on board, the fuel price was jacked from 87 to 143. Remember when the former president was here, the Ojota Park was occupied by people, including my good friends, I don't want to mention his name, for 1 week, eating, drumming. Nobody attacked them. There was no tear gas in there. There was nothing. And they were forced to bring it back. But when this government came on board, they said, and everybody said, okay, they promised that they were going to remove it. The money they are saved from that, they are going to use it to improve the welfare of the people. You are removing subsidy. And you are saying 340 naira. How much is the minimum wage? I mean, the government, do they want us to cry for them? How much is the minimum wage? How much is school fees? How much is school fees? How much is a derica of rice? How much is derica of this? How much is a bag of rice? How much is ordinary tomato? What are we saying that the government cannot even think about? They are talking about a liter of fuel. A liter. Do you know how much you pay from their place to here? By way of transport fare. I mean, this is a government that we need to, we should be willing to take care of our welfare. But unfortunately, within 6 years now, the tax, remember VAT was, jacked up from 5% to 7.5%. Then the tariff on the electricity also jacked up. Everywhere jacked up. Everything jacked up. Now, how much even gas? The cooking gas, how much do you buy it last? It's about 8,000, 9,000 naira. As against 2,500, 4,000 naira. You are buying a cylinder, that is 12 kg.
12.5.
8,000 naira, 9,000 naira. How much is a liter of kerosene? The commonest thing a common woman uses. How much is it? 300 something naira. And you, oh, may God help us. You see, the way we are saying, that's where people are not happy with this government. And they are saying, who has bewitched us? We are saying no. But my other word is that Labour are supposed to fight for us. We don't have Labour again.
The NLC last week rejected the proposed fuel hike, but if you're talking in terms of action, no action yet. I said, it's still a proposal.
It's a proposal. That's what I said. I started by saying, when you see smoke, in the next couple of seconds, there will be fire. It has happened. You go and try it. Because for every rumor, there must be some elements of truth in it. Don't be surprised. They know what they are doing. By the time Labour, people call them, not me, people call them toothless bulldog. They only back, they don't bite. Labour is not, the people say, I am not the one saying it. I'm now repeating what people say because I'm a grassroots person. I go out. If I leave the studio now, I will go out, sample opinion, hear, get the feelings of people. They said Labour is compromised. I don't know. If it is not so, when Oshomole was there, I remember he rattled the former president, President Obasanjo, and Obasanjo said, I will tell you that I am the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He said, I will also tell you that I am the president of Nigerian labor workers. And how much? He fought and the price of fuel was reduced. We don't have such forcefulness in labor now. Don't forget about this thing. Forget about labor. Because Nigeria, we know, instead of labor, like they said, let us manage it. But no, Nigerians we are suffering and smiling. That's the issue. We cannot say this is our right. This is our right. Why can't I also discuss about this in the other place I told you I went. Why can't our refineries work? Why can't they say they are going to build refineries when they come? Why has it not been built? Why is it that our Kaduna refinery is not working? Port Harcourt is not working. What is not working? Why is it that they are not working? If they are working, why is it that we are saying importing fuel? That's the issue. You see, they should not put Nigeria to the wall. They push Nigeria to the wall. And people, Nigerians are now speak. You can't even control Nigeria talking. Nigeria is saying that things are bad. I am 68 now. I've never seen things gone bad like this before in my life. I've never seen it like this. I call my daughter, my granddaughter. I say, look at this Omo. No, that was a big Omo before. Sorry.
No branding, detergent.
Yeah. Detergent. It was sold less than 15 naira. I say yes, 15 naira. When you go to Leventis, with even your 20 that you buy all manner of things. But it's no longer like that now. What has happened? Why is it that we are all, the governors are the people causing this problem? Do you know why? Because they will go home with a lot of money. The governors have supported it. All the 36 state governors, including the Minister for Federal Cabinet, they've all supported this increment because of what they get, because of their stomach, not because of the people. Not because of the people. You see, if they have the interest of the people, they will say no. The people that voted us in are crying, are weeping, are lamenting. So this is another slavery. We are in slavery. Nigerians are in slavery. If any venture is meant to increase it, Nigeria will bleed.
All right. Like I said, it's still a proposal come February 2022. According to the NNPC, who hinted that if the pump price of fuel might actually be jacked up from the current rate, which is about 162.50 to about 320 or 340 naira. And to that effect, the Minister of Finance last week did mention that the federal government will pay 5,000 naira transport grants to the very poor Nigerians, about 40 million of them, you know, to cushion the effect of the increase in fuel price.
Madam P, you see, if not you that is asking me this question, I don't know. You see, who is not poor in Nigeria? Who is not poor? How would they determine the poorest of poor in Nigeria? 40 million. Are we 40 million? It's not 200 million. Who among the 200 million that is not poor? Everybody, every person that amount to that 200 is poor. Very poor. Look, there's what they call market money. How many people benefited from it? There's more. Even the one the vice president went and shared in the market. How many people benefited from it? What about the school feeding money? How many people? We stayed on this. Studio. We discussed about during the exercise, during the lockdown. We discussed about it, and they said they were feeding. We said, how are you feeding students that are staying with their parents at home? How do you feed them? They said they have their names, they have their this. My grandchildren, my wards, they were in private school, not private school. Primary schools, were they fed? No. So who are they? How would they determine who is poor? How would they? How many states will make up that 40 million they are talking about? How would they determine? How would they be distributed? 5,000. We are talking about 5,000. How much do you spend from your place to here in a week? My wife spent more in a month. My wife spent close to 50,000 transportation from here to PFN. At after this thing, okay, very close to this thing. So that's why my wife said, you know CPN. That's why behind that place. That's why my wife, she spent 50,000 naira a month transport. So you are not paying the poor of the poorest. Who are the poor of the poorest? 5,000. How much will it take them 3 days? And you are talking about 40 million. Who and who will benefit? Which states? Which state will benefit that? So you see, the government should not allow people to be attacking them from all sides of it, because they should even think before they talk. From what is happening now, we don't like it. Let them go. Let them stop that 5,000. What about during the campaign? They said the youth will pay 5,000. Later they said, would they say that? I mean, they said that they said that. How many youths collected that 5,000 naira? How many youths collected even the Madam? Nigeria is bleeding.
All right. According to the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN President Wale Oke, implementation of the policy would actually lead to hike in the price of fuel, and this will have a ripple effect on prices of goods and services. Of course, from experience, every single time there's been a hike in the pump price of petrol, everything goes up, including tomatoes in the market. Even
having said it now, having proposed it now, go to the market. Having proposed it now, go to the market. By tomorrow, go to the market and see what is happening. Of course, you know it. So I decided last week to let me fill the pens. I asked my wife, go and buy a derica of rice. How much is it? 600 naira. 600 naira. Tomato. I love tomato. And of course, vegetable. Because rice, I don't eat it. Rice and yam, I don't normally eat it unless with vegetable and things like that. But these are the staple food in the family. Yam, rice, and bread. They've gone out of the reach of the man. Average man, how much is a loaf of bread? I went there to buy, they said 700, 800, some 1,000. The least, even the agege, whatever people like to eat, you don't see 50 naira before again. You don't see 100 naira, it's 150. So tell me, if this thing is implemented, you will not be able to buy a loaf of bread. You will not be able, look, let them not try it all. I think the masses are saying, please, even there are so many other ways to do it. In 1980s, when prices were being increased, they brought out palliative by way of transport system. Labor was given loan to buy transit buses. Even some corporate bodies were given assistance to buy transport system so that they would cushion effect. It was short-lived. It was hijacked. It was hijacked by the people. So what they should do is let them, our refineries should work. Let them build new refineries. The other side I went there, they mentioned about Dangote. I said Dangote is everywhere. Dangote is in Nigeria.
Thank you.